Come on and walk with me. I wasn't going to walk this morning, but, we do what the Lord says do. So this morning I was back in the story of David and Goliath, and I was reading, and I was reminded that whenever David stepped up and said he was going to defeat that Philistine, Saul automatically gave him his armor. He gave him what the world thought he might need to cover him, protect him. And David tried it on, and he was like, "This ain't gonna work. It don't feel right." But David was already walking in the armor of God. He was already walking in the presence of God. He already had a faith history with God in his walk with God, and he knew that God was going to show up for him. He didn't need to cover himself in some superficial armor of the world, because he was standing in divine armor. He was standing in God's own armor. So I want to encourage you to stay. David ultimately stood before Goliath and let him know that because of this battle, all these people are going to believe that there is a God in Israel, and he shows up for his people, that he fights in ways that doesn't make sense. He fights differently than the world does. And he sure did. He threw a rock, got him right here, knocked him out, took the head off that giant. He no longer got to torment David. And the beautiful part about that is, later on in David's life, David needs a sword, and he goes and he gets the sword of Goliath. He goes back and remembers how God was faithful to him in a season where he needs to remember that God fights for him. So I just love how God keeps on reminding us through our experiences that he fights for us. And even in this season, he's going to fight for me. And then later on in life, he's going to bring this back up to my girl, and he's going to help her to remember that when it seemed like the enemy was bigger than us, God fought for us in a miraculous way. And he put that giant on his back, took his head off where he couldn't do nothing no more. So I want to encourage you, be strong and courageous. Build a faith history with the Lord that helps you to remember that he is there in every little moment, and he shows up for you. And you don't have to cover yourself in what the world says you need to cover yourself in, because you are covered in God's divine armor if you trust in him and wake up every day and cover yourself in his armor by faith. You have a great day. Armor up, friends. It's a battle out here, but Jesus wins every time, so follow him.